Hi guys, I have this Leader 120 from FuriBee RC for review. So this was sent in to me by GearBest, and I have done a setup and I have flown this, and what I can say is that this is one of the best 5-inch quad that I have ever flown. Let's just talk about the physical quad first. If you look at this, it's very well built, well made. The soldering are just fantastic, and the props, the motors, and everything is put together so well, as it's a well balanced quad. And the problem that this quad originally had was resolved by the manufacturer, FuriBee RC. So they have not added the black motors and 20M ESC. So there's no flip of death anymore. So I can confirm that after flying this indoors and outdoors. And this guy is very quiet, and it has full of punch. It is very stable and very responsive. The camera is very good. There's no loss of signal. There's very little breakup. And this, because I have this AC800 free sky receiver, so this doesn't go very far. It goes up to maybe about 80 to 100 meters. And the only hard things for in relation to this quad is just finding the right receiver and soldering it to the flight control board, because this is the PMP version, plug and play, so you need to do that. So that's the only part, the hardest part of setting up this quad. Other than that, the other settings in Betaflight are already done for you, so you don't have to do anything else except to solder the receiver on the quad, bind the receiver, make sure that the flight control board talks to the receiver by going to the configuration and set up S-Bus, and then you go to the receiver tab, make sure that the sticks are all 1500 in the middle, and then you go to modes tab and set up the modes, and that's all you need to do, and you're ready to fly. And you're going to see some flight videos. I have two line of sight acro videos, and you can see the experience that you as a user will go through with this quad. So I purposely did what I did by using this quad like a normal user. So I even crashed it in grass, and it was very difficult to find, but this one has a beeper, so I was able to use the beeper. And because I was using a DVR from my Factual Attitude V4, so the combination of this video that is recorded and also the beeper, I was able to find the quad quite easily. So you're also going to see an indoors line of sight testing of this quad, and also after that you see me flying FPV with the quad and the FPV video feed. So in terms of flying, this is very good. You feel like you are flying an 8-inch quad, because this has enough speed and weight to get you that feeling. So overall, this is a very good quad, and I will give this 9.8 out of 10 because of the well-built quad easy setup and a very good flyer. So if you want to get any micro quad, I can recommend this one. Micro quad is getting quite popular nowadays because it's smaller, it's much easier to fly, and it doesn't pose danger to people around you, especially when you fly in the park. I find that for me, when I go to the park, there's always people around, so I can't fly my X210 or X220 quad. So you can fly a micro quad without any problems. So if you want to get a micro quad, this is the quad to get. And I have very good experience with this. Easy to flip very and roll very tightly, very responsive. So I was using my Editor V4 and also my Taranis X90 Plus Special Edition. So I had a very good experience with this quad. So after the FPV video, you're going to see unboxing and also video instructions. So you don't have to watch the unboxing or the video instruction if you don't want to. Just watch until the test flight. And if you decide to get one and you have got one already, if you want to set it up, there's video instructions after the FPV video. So I hope you guys like this review. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. So please remember, quadcopter is no rocket science. See you next time. Happy flying. Hi guys, so this is the unboxing part of this video. So this is the FuriBee H801 FPV racing drone, and this is sent to me by GearBest for review. So it comes with this cardboard box. Inside, I've already opened it earlier. The everything comes wrapped in this soft paper. So you are given two sets of props. It looks like it's quite durable, but I'm not sure whether it's too big for this H801 or not, but we will see. So two sets of props. It comes with a battery. So this is the 2 cells LiPo battery, 30Cs, 500 milliamps. This should give you about maybe 4 minutes of flight. We will see how this will perform. It also gives you a Velcro strap for the battery. And also Velcro strips for battery to put on the bottom of the quad. And also the screws for the props, and also some spare screws. So this is the H801. So this is of course this 120 size quad, and the bottom of this has a recessed screws there. So this is good because then you can put your Velcro strips here, and then your battery here, and it won't damage the battery. And this is 3mm carbon base plate, and it seems to be very stiff. So stiffness is good because it can prevent vibrations. So this is a good base plate, 2mm. I think the top one is 2mm. And this is FuriBee branded 1104 motors, 7500 kV, and you have this all-in-one camera at the front here, and you have this 3D printed like a standoff thing, also 3D printed camera mount, and you have this protection body, and of course the ESC is at the bottom. If you look at the soldering, it looks quite well soldered, so this is good. And you have the buzzer at the back, and you have the JST connector for the battery. The battery is bottom mounted, and this is the Omnibus F3 controller, and you can see that the buzzer is connected to the buzzer pad here. The USB connector plug is here, and the buzzer they put it back. The LED seems to be connected together with the buzzer, and then you have this camera connected to here. There's OSD for this camera, which is good, and also you have these front pads for S-Bus, and the back one is 3.3 volts for DSM, DSMX receiver. So with this one you need to solder your receiver to these pads if you have FreeSky or DSM at the back here. It's good also to have a buzzer because if you fly outdoors, if you drop it somewhere, if you can activate a buzzer, it's much easier to find this in tall grass. So the camera, I can't remember what's the TV line, but I'll check and then tell you later. So overall, this seems to be well made quad, and it has already got positive reviews on YouTube, except that there's some initial issues with flip or death, but I think it has now been resolved hopefully. And if you look at this build, there's really not much that you need to do to get this up and flying. The only thing that I'll do is I need to secure the wires. So maybe I'll put zip tie here, here and here. And there's really not much you can do with the antenna here. I think if you crash it, it will be fine, it will be well protected. So all we need to do is really just to put the Velcro strips here, and then put the straps over the bottom here and secure the wires, and also solder the receiver to here. Then just hook it up to Betaflight. Just make sure that you set the modes up, and then you're good to go. So looking at this frame, it seems very well balanced. So this is looks like an X shape. So if it's an X shape, it's usually very stable flyer, and everything seems to be well balanced. So I don't see any problem with this being a good flyer, and especially if it is combined with the right motors, with the right speed, and also the good propellers for these motors that can generate enough lift but not overpowering, then this should be a very good flyer. But all in all, first impression is that this one looks good, and so now I need to just solder the receiver, and we're good to go. So the only thing that you need to be aware of when you buy something like this, that is a plug and play. It doesn't come with a receiver, so you need to figure out how to solder the receiver to the flight control board. That's the hardest part of buying this type of quadcopters, PMP, which is to solder your own receiver. The full speed should have put some, the plug thing on here with the 3-pin, so that you can just easily plug in your receiver, and that will make it so much easier for everybody when they buy this type of quads. So other than that, I think this looks good. I'll just give you a 3D view of this quad. In terms of changing channels on the camera, you can press the buttons here. I usually don't bother with changing channels, the default channel that comes with a quad, because they're usually on the F band, channel 1 or channel 7, that's the fake short band. So because most of our goggles comes with auto scanning, so it's not necessary for you to actually set the channel unless you have a specific band and channel that you want to use. Other than that, for normal purposes, you can just use your goggles and scan it. So yeah, looks well built, well balanced, looks sturdy, so nothing to complain there. I hope the camera is not broken. Sometimes with this type of quadcopter, the camera will come very loose, the lens will get loose, and then you have a problem there. But with this all-in-one camera, I don't usually find any problem with the camera lens. So hopefully I'm right. So yeah, looks good. So this concludes the unboxing and general inspection of the quad. And what I'll do next is I'll do soldering of the receiver, and also setting up in Betaflight, and then do a hover test and secure all the wires, and also outdoor test. And then hopefully there's nothing wrong with these settings here that will cause flip or death. But yeah, I'll see how it goes, and I'll show you that later on. So as you can see, I've just soldered my this receiver connector to the UART3, and the ground wire is here, the red wire is in the middle, and the signal wire is here. So after I've finished soldering, I just twist the wire so that it stays in place. So I may have to put some electrical tape, liquid electrical tape on all these joints just in case. So I'm using this AC800 FreeSky receiver. I got this from my Flying Frog. So what I need to do is I just need to run the wire to the inside of the quad and then just connect the receiver. And I just secure it down with a double-sided foam tape and just tap it somewhere here. So this is the only receiver that I have lying around, so that's why I'm using this. You may use other receiver like the FreeSky XM or SM Plus. So I may get better receiver next round. So at the moment, this should be enough. So I just secure it down here, and I'll do the binding and show you later on. So this completes this part of this video, which is soldering the receiver to your quad and then connecting it and fixing it in the quad. So the next thing I'll do is I'll set up other parts of this quad. So as I mentioned earlier, I want to secure the wires with zip tie. So I'm going to do that for all the 4 sides. Make sure that you don't do it too tight and you put too much pressure on the wire and you break it. Yeah, that should be enough. So this is how you secure your ESC wires. So what you need to do now is just to cut off the ends. Okay, so that's how you secure your ESC wires to your frame. So the next thing that I want to do is just to attach the Velcro strip to the battery and the bottom of the frame. And then after this I'm going to do setup. Now I need to do binding first, and after that I need to do setup with Betaflight. So I always like to put the rough part on the bottom of the quad and then the soft part on the battery. So that's what I'm going to do. You see.
battery should go like that. So take this off. I think that's close enough.
That's the battery on the bottom, and this is the battery strap. I'm not sure whether this one will work or not. It may be a bit too long. So I just slip the strap through the bottom part of the ESC, and then just strap it on like that. It's a bit too long. If you want to, you can cut a bit off here. Otherwise, if you don't want to, you can just let it hang, roll it up, and just let it hang to the side of here. Let me show you how you roll up. Just roll and just let it rest here. And if you let it rest here, it may be good to protect this part of the quad, but then just let it rest a bit down here. That should be fine. So this sets up the physical part of the quad, and I don't want to put the props on first because then I need to do setup on Betaflight. But just to show you how it looks like after it's set up, I think I'll just put the props on without the screw on first. So I just need to find the proper blade. Okay. So I need two clockwise, two anti-clockwise. Okay. Anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. So normally what you do is you just get the quad to face front, and this one usually goes anti-clockwise. So this is the props, and this side goes clockwise. So you do the same with the back. You just let the back face the front. This side is anti-clockwise. This side is clockwise. So that's the leader 120 after physical setup. It looks pretty nice, and it looks very sturdy. After I set it up, I'll use the screw and I'll screw this down. very well balanced. So always remember to charge the battery before you take it for your first flight, because the battery usually comes in a storage charge, so it's not fully charged. So if you fly using the storage charge battery, you may risk killing the battery, so always remember that. So in this part of the video I'm going to do setting up of my Tyrannus X90, and I want to bind this with my leader 120. So if you have a look at the screen now, I have already set up the model. So because this one has a beeper, I also set up a switch for beeper. So let me show you my setup. So I have the throttle aileron, elevator, rudder, the arm switch, mode switch, and the beeper switch. So the arm switch is this, the mode switch is this 3-position switch, and the beeper switch is this 3-position switch. So as soon as I switch to the middle, the beeper will sound. So this is the model for my leader 120, and because I'm using the AC800 receiver, so the mode is D8, so I need to put it in on this bind position so that I can do the binding. So with this leader 120, the USB actually powers up the receiver and also the camera. So I can just connect my USB and I can power up the receiver and we'll do the binding. So with this AC800 receiver, it will start blinking as soon as you plug it in, or it takes a couple of seconds. Once it starts blinking, if you want to use this on S-Bus, so you need to bind immediately, because if not, after a while it goes into PPA mode. So let me just connect this to the USB. So I connect, let it start blinking. Yeah, turn the, okay, starts blinking. So I turn on my Tyrannus.
Oh yeah, that was the right switch.
So as soon as you hear that the lights go solid, it binds. So you can just exit. So I think it is bound, hopefully. So let me just disconnect and connect again, see whether it's bound or not. Here you can see the RSI indicator here, so that means that it's bound. So we have completed the binding for the receiver, and I'm just going to connect this to Betaflight and see whether if I move the sticks, it actually moves. Well, I cannot connect to Betaflight now because it's still installing the driver. Because every time that you plug in a new quadcopter into your Betaflight or your PC, he will have to install the driver first before he can connect. So let us wait for a while and see, and let it complete the driver download. So there is a problem with the driver, so I need to solve that issue and then I'll come back.
I may, if I may, I'd like to love you, love you. I'd like to love you, love you. I'd like to love you night and day, if I may, may. I'd like to. I'd like to love you every day. I'd like to love you, love you. I'd like to love you, love you. If I may.
Yep, I used the impulse RC driver fixer, so now it's connected. So let's go
Telemetry recovered.
to receiver. It's not moving anything because I haven't set up the COM port yet. So this is UART3. So it's URX. Save and reboot. Then I need to go to configuration and set this to S-Pass. Save and reboot. You see, now the receiver is not working properly, and then you can see the quad spinning on the screen. That's because the channel map is wrong. It has to be TAER. So I just need to do the spectrum on save. So now it's all correct. So if I move the sticks now, you can see the throttle. You can see the throttle is moving correctly. The yaw moving correctly. Pitch, raw. So all I need now is to set the middle position for the receiver. So the raw, just need to press this to 1500 pitch, and then the yaw, and you can see that there's a value fluctuating 1 and 2, so we need to set the deadband to around 2. Throttle value is fine, and see whether the switch are moving correctly. Sorry about that. Auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2, aux 3. So the sticks are now set up correctly, and the receiver is all done, so that's fine. So the next thing that we need to do is to go to the modes. So we set the arm with auxiliary 1. So just pull the slider there. Save. And then we go to angle, horizon, auxiliary 2. Auxiliary 2 is here. That's fine. Save. So now the next thing that we need to do is to set the beeper. So that's auxiliary 3. Save. So as you can see, it's working. So now we have bound the receiver, set it up in Betaflight with TAER. We went to configuration and we put it as S-Bus, and then we've gone to modes. Then we have set it angle, horizon, acro, beeper, and then arm switch. So that's all you need to do to connect your transmitter to your quadcopter. So now we just need to check the rest of the settings. So I'll just turn on my transmitter first. And I'll just calibrate the accelerometer. Go to configuration, save and reboot.
Oh yeah, that was the right switch.
Because if it's disconnected from the transmitter, it usually beeps. So I connect the transmitter back on. So let's see whether the accelerometer is set properly. Yep, reset, that's fine. Let's do it again. That's fine. Ports, we've done it already. It's UR3. Configuration, D-shot, motor stop, disarm. This all been set by Leader 120 Full Speed RC company. So it has all been set up properly. So I just leave it as that. So you have OSD on, BVAC. So they set the minimum to 2.8. That's fine. So Full Speed RC has actually done all the settings. PID tuning, I think they also made the PID tunings. So all the values I'm going to leave them as they are. Receiver we've done. Modes, motors, OSD I'm just leaving it as how it is set up. So we need to do fail-safe, so you need to enable expert mode, fail-safe. Fail-safe stage 2 is drop. So let's test the fail-safe and see whether it works. So I need to connect the battery. I'm going to arm this. Throttle out. Disconnect. Yep, fail-safe works. So that's fine.
Oh yeah, that was the right switch. Throttle warning.
So let's do save and reboot. So I just disconnect the battery first. And just double check everything. And that's basically all you need to do set up in Betaflight. The most important thing is to solder your receiver to the quadcopter, then bind it and then set it out in Betaflight to make sure that everything connects. In the config, set to XBus, and check all the values in the receiver tab, and then set the modes, and that's all you need to do to connect this to the quad. Everything else you can leave it as stock, and in this case Full Speed RC has set up everything, so I leave them as stock, so you don't have to do anything else apart from connecting the transmitter. Then after that, just make sure that everything is connected, put on the props, and then you can go and do your first flight. So that's the end of the setting up with Betaflight. Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm testing the camera of this Leader 120. I suspected that it was on Fast Sharp band and channel 1, and let me see whether it's Fast Sharp band channel 1. So you can see it's actually A. Oh no, let me just see. I'm not sure. Oh yes, it's B1. It's not Fast Sharp 1. So it's actually B1. So I was wrong, it's not F1. So anyway, the camera works. So just let me move this around. So the channels is on B1, just remember that. But if your goggles can do auto scan, it's not a problem. You can do auto scan on that. So that's it for the testing the camera. So I just want to show you the final setup. So I put on the props, put the 2 screws on that, and make sure that this is clockwise, this is anti-clockwise. Turn this around, clockwise, anti-clockwise, and to secure the wires here, and secure the battery. And it's all good to go. The receiver is on top of this. Yeah, everything is very easy to set up with this quad. So that's the final setup. So Betaflight is done. So all I need to do now is just to do a test flight indoors, and just hover test, and maybe just a bit flying around the indoors, and to see that it works. Then I'm going to take it out and do line of sight outdoors, and also FPV outdoors, and then I'll do a final review of this. And just remember that when this first came out, there was a lot of issue with flip or depth, but apparently the manufacturer has Full Speed RC has fixed the problems, so they're supplying new black motors and also 20 amps ESC, and I think from my understanding those things have already solved the problem, so you don't have to worry about this Leader 120 anymore. Just do the setup and you're good to go.